Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc begins with an anime exclusive scene, which I think may have taken place after the swordsmith village. The Wind and Snake Hashira, Sanemi and Iguro, hunt down some demons. They've been kidnapping people, but something strange is afoot, with the victims vanishing into thin air. What's really nice is that they get to display some of their breathing forms, which in truth I don't think we get in the manga until later chapters. And even though they rescue the girl from the demon, the castle vanishes into thin air, leaving the Hashiras up a creek holding their dicks looking stupid AF. I must say, this is an amazing start to the season with crisp animation and Sakuga out the wazoo. Sanemi is still an ass, and the 3D camera movements along with the amazing world textures that ufotable are known for are still there. For this arc, there really isn't much to adapt as it's only a few chapters, but I heard that they will be adapting side stories like Gyu and Rengoku's Gaiden. More or less, this episode is mainly anime exclusive, adapting only about 3 chapters, give or take. We only start to adapt manga chapters after Kanao returns to the Butterfly Mansion, where Shinobu will take her leave to the Hashira meeting. We get to see Tanjiro recovering from his big battle in the swordsmith village when he finds out that the village has been moved. I do believe that they do skip 2 of the first panels here, only focusing on Tanjiro realizing that the village had moved after some much needed exposition from Goto. Funny enough, we get a quick brief flashback of the battles, which isn't usual. We find out that Tanjiro has been out for 7 days while Kanroji and Muichiro has only been out for about 2 or 3, which shows that he's actually catching up to them. And now pretty soon, due to Nezuko conquering the sun, Muzan will be sending his troops after her. Speaking of conquering the sun, why don't you help me by hitting that like button, letting the algorithm know that you're enjoying what you're watching, and give me some more motivation to make videos like these. Damn, I suck at promoting myself. Oh well, moving on. The manga would continue with showing us Zenitsu as he returns from his mission, but the anime would just show us the Hashira meeting. I thought this was a good choice because Zenitsu can be a little bit much at times. Anyways, during the meeting, we find out that Kagaya's condition has worsened and his wife has chosen to lead the meeting where she investigates the Demon Slayer mark. Kanroji is no help as usual as she's a blabbering, bumbling idiot, but thankfully Muichiro steps up to the mantle being a human heart rate monitor and a thermometer all at once. Ask me how he's aware of his heart rate and his exact temperature, I don't know. If you do, let me know in the comments below, because it seems I must be missing something. It also seems that Tanjiro is the catalyst for all these marks appearing, but now they've got a mission: activate their Demon Slayer mark. But how will they accomplish this, especially with demons lurking? Thankfully, the demons more or less have stopped eating humans, and now they can host a training session not only for themselves, but for the rest of the Corps. But something's up with Gyu. He's not like the rest of them, so he takes his leave, which pisses off Bakugo. Thankfully, Gyome calls attention to the class. We're at the end of the chapter, but we did skip over Zenitsu's scene, so the anime treats us to that. He returns from his mission to find out that Nezuko is talking, only to find out that Inosuke taught her only to say his name, which pisses him off to no end, so he's off to kill the dirty swine. When we get back to it, Tanjiro and Hananesuka meets up and he gives him his new blade, and wouldn't you know it, some crazy over-the-top scene ends up happening with Hananesuka going completely ballistic on Tanjiro. Fortunately, there isn't much change from the manga here. Tanjiro learns a little bit of lore about the Nichirin blade. By the way, I do have a billion Nichirin blade videos that are up on the channel. There's both spoilers and non-spoilers, but for your sake, I'll give you the non-spoilers one in the card above or somewhere in the description. There'll be a link. Go ahead and click it, okay? Jeez. But anyways, after the argument with Hananesuka, Genya gets disturbed. The poor guy, I really feel his pain. He wants to just get a little rest, but there is nothing here. It's just pure noise. Now, something that you can do to help out our friend Genya here: share this video with a friend who also just wants some rest. But too bad for him, Inosuke comes hurtling through a window. This is where chapter 129 ends. Inosuke tells Tanjiro about the training session, more or less, but fortunately for us, we get some exposition, or rather some visual confirmation later in the episode. For now, we go back to the Hashira meeting, where now they kind of flush out who's doing what and what's what, if that makes any sense. With that, they incorporate the flashy god himself, Tengen, the former Sound Hashira, and yeah, his 3 wives are here too. The manga would split up some of these scenes, but the anime would be a bit more straightforward. It switches back to Tanjiro as him and Zenitsu have a very interesting interaction. Seems Zenitsu doesn't like training, and he bites the living fuck out of Tanjiro and unfriends him as if it was 2006 Facebook. Fortunately, Tanjiro is a master of flirting and lets his bestie know that he's awesome, which calms him down, and he leaves as happy as an eggplant in a peach. The damn simpleton. We now get into some training scenes with Uzui whipping these good-for-nothing yellow bellies into shape. It's an anime exclusive scene where his wives cook, but you can actually see this on the cover of chapter 130. All in all, Uzui would be doing stamina training, Kanroji would be doing flexibility, Iguro would be doing sword skills, Sanemi would just be beating up recruits, and Gyome would be doing reinforcement training. all except one, of course, and that would be Gyu, brooding in the corner. But that's where the manga chapter adaptations for this episode would actually end, and we get some future stuff, which I'll count as anime exclusive for now. Kagaya thanks his wife for the help that she's done so far, which isn't ominous at all, and then he sends a bird which invites Tamayo to join forces to kill Michael Jackson for sure this time. I found it pretty funny that this bird can articulate so well and his voice is so deep. Is this normal for crows? What a fantastic start to the season that was. I really love this episode. You may have noticed that this video is a little different from my usual anime versus manga series, and that's because of two reasons. One, this episode is 48 minutes, but it only adapted about 2.5 chapters, 3 at most, barely skipping anything at all, so it would be pointless to do a count. So go ahead and share this video with a friend, leave a comment, and all that YouTube good stuff. I've been your host Kyle, thank you, and stay safe out there, Vnation.